Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today I am talking to you about, is it time or when is it time to just say, you know what, I need a break before I break. And so today, pardon me if I'm not my normal, chipper, upbeat, time to get it crack-a-lackin' self, because I really feel internally like I need to cry. I really feel internally like I want to scream. That's what's going on the inside. I feel like I want to just scream and cry and let it all out. And, you know, as we approach the Holidebt season, you know me, I always talk about the Holidebt season and, you know, is it time for us to forego all of the money that we spend and the debt that we incur around the Holidebt season, and that's debt. And for those of you who do and partake, and you say, I saw somebody say, well, I space it out all throughout the year, so I'm good. So guess what? Once again, then this ain't for you. If you got it and your debt's under control, that was roadkill, then all good. Then it's all good. And then guess what? I'm not talking to you. Move on to the next podcast. But for those of us who are conscious of what we spend and why we are conditioned to spend and how we are like sheep herded to spend, then this is for you. And this is a little bit, not just for me, this is not about that. I'm just going through something right now, and I decided to just kind of just detach from social media for a minute, just because I need to get my mind right. And I just feel like before I say some things that are not productive to us, then I'm just going to just disconnect for a minute. So yeah, I may be on, I just may not just be saying anything, but right now I'm just, because I'm at that explosive point internally, and I don't want to come across as negative or just negative. I don't want to come across as negative, never do. I always want to be in a position where I'm uplifted. So I may be on social media, but I just may not be speaking or posting on social media. So right now, some of you know I'm going through some junk with my our other property that we have with this plumber, and I talked about it a little bit. And that situation with him is still not resolved. I did call him yesterday, and I left him a very explosive message. And he was like, well, you know what, let me call your husband. I said, all right, cool, because he's there now. Call him. Never did. And so that particular person, people are like, blast him. I'll say it. His company's name is highly favored. And not, guess what? You are not living up to your name. You are not highly favored. And your business will never be highly favored because you do shoddy work and you don't complete the job and you don't return phone calls or text messages. And who does that? And I left him a message saying that, you know, I'm very orchestrated in how I spend my money. And, you know, I got your name and number and information from a very good contact. And now you done screwed his name up, his good name up. And this is what you do. And you're making it bad for all people of color, black folks, because, you know, when some people get that mindset in their head, they're like, you know what, screw it, I'll never use you again. And so people are like, oh, well, all people do, you know, all businesses do this. And I agree, they do, but that's not my experience when I deal with only my folks. So I expect my folks to show up and show and prove. But anyway, that's really what has me down. Not just that particular situation, but the rental property that we have. I'm just so through with them, and they just keep on just screwing up. And it's not so much, and I can't even say they, just one in particular or two in particular, and they just keep on acting a fool, and they're causing issues for the other tenants, which really sucks. And we're up to $1,000 in damages in one little weekend, and that's not even including the bill that I just got that for the electric bill, which is $337, which is unbelievable. And I was like, well, maybe I didn't pay the bill and that's carryover charges. No, 1 month. So I'm just through. And so pardon me if I'm a little down right now, but sometimes we have to know when it's time to take a break. And the other issue that I'm dealing with is my knee. It has swollen up again. Why? Probably stress. And I'm just at that point where I'm just ready to just scream. And so for me, when I'm down like this and I'm in that funk, it's just time for me to disconnect. And I saw a post the other day from one of my family members and was saying that he needs help, and he's at that point, and I applaud him as a man for stepping forward to say, I need help. And how many of us do that? We definitely, as a community, we don't do that enough. When we feel like we need help, when we feel like we're at that breaking point, we need to just let someone know. We need to call someone, professional help, whatever. But we need to seek help and take the mental break that we need. Do what we need to do to disconnect, to regroup. So that's where I am. I'm really at a point where I'm telling you guys, I'm not at the breaking point where I'm going to mentally break, because I'm a strong person, and that doesn't have anything to do with being about strong or weak, but it's not, for me, I'm not going to let somebody else's ignorance and someone else's trifling, if this is the word, triflingness, irresponsibility, just being downright trifling, nasty, dirty, irresponsible. I'm not going to allow them to dictate how I conduct business and how I move throughout my life. But when you're costing me financial turmoil, then it does tend to get to you. But that's really where I am. I'm just, and it's Monday and it's raining and I'm just blah, 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 blah. That's how I feel, blah. But my knee is messed up and I got to keep pushing forward. And that's the problem. We always feel like we have to keep pushing forward, and we never get a chance to say, you know what, I'm not doing this today. Thankfully, I had that day yesterday. I just slept and slept and slept. And the hubster took the children, and Buka stepped up and made dinner and made lunches for today. So that really was a big help for me, just to be able to do nothing and just sleep my pain away. But today, unfortunately for me, I gotta keep it moving. I don't get another day to do that. I would love to, because I'm tired and still tired from yesterday, but I gotta keep moving forward. And therein lies the issue, folks. We always gotta keep pushing forward. So no matter what it is, I don't know if it's turning off social media, I don't know if it's reading a book. Some of you probably smoke marijuana. I don't get a drink, pray. I don't know, whatever your thing is, to disconnect, regroup, find it, do it, as long as it's something that's positive and nothing that's negative and will get you all caught up in trouble. But do what you got to do to keep pushing forward. And that's pretty much all I have to say. But as far as that Holidebt, don't feel compelled to go into debt if you don't have it, or you don't want to, or if you can, find some very, very, very inexpensive $5 gifts that you can get from, maybe like Family Dollar type deals, like little mugs and stuff like that, candy. Make some things, make some gifts for people. But don't feel like you have to go into this Holidebt season, because that will also depress you. But anyway, time to get it crack-a-lacking, y'all. Let's go.